Well, welcome to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse. And again, my sincere thanks for everyone who was tried to help me out with Blanca's surgery and care and shit like that. It's really appreciated. She's home now. I got a cone on her because she pulled a stitch out of her eyelid. She's going back this coming Monday to get the stitches out of the tail and the other stuff done. So it's just a never-ending fucking saga, for lack of better words. But anyway, how about a really shitty movie called Tintorea from 1978, I believe. I guess this was one of the shark cash-in movies, only they didn't use fake sharks in this one. This is a Rene Cardona Jr. deal. And it stars Hugo Stiglitz, Susan George, and some other guy. And I don't know why they called it Tintorea. They should have called it gonorrhea, because basically the whole film boils down to a three-way sex relationship between the two male leads and Susan George. And, I don't know, go back to 1977, 78 when these guys were in these fucking printed shirts that were open to the navel with all the gold chains and the chest hair. And if you didn't have chest hair, you bought a chest hair wig and glued it on. Shit like that. And they're wearing little tiny, like almost bikini bathing suits, which pretty much I really know what Hugo's religion is now. But anyway, it gets stupider because, there's this whole twisted three-way going on all the time. And what happened was originally Hugo's character had a girlfriend, but the girlfriend met Michael, the other male lead. And she was sleeping with Michael when she decided to go out for a swim and get eaten by a shark. And it seems like neither one of these guys actually gave a shit. As they meet at a bar later on, because Hugo threw a punch at Michael, knocked him down, so Michael's trepidatious. So now they start a bromance. Yeah, bromance. How many chicks they can bang at once, it seems like this. And then with the whole thing meeting Susan George in three-way, I didn't need to see somebody's junk walk by the camera during a horror movie. And the whole shark thing, well, there are sharks, and if you're an animal cruelty activist, you're not going to like this because they are killing the fucking sharks. There's no doubt about it. The sharks are getting shot, blood's pouring out their gills, and they die. Well, Susan George character goes out with them after they tell them they're shark hunters and thinks they're fucking crazy. And Michael gets attacked by the big tiger shark that supposedly ate the other chick. And he gets bit in half, and you see half his body just drift down to the bottom with intestines and organs floating out of it and shit like that. Well, that sort of breaks up the romance and the bromance, because now Susan George leaves and Hugo is going to hunt down the shark. But then there's a massive shark attack at some party with a bunch of girls in the water that get attacked, and Hugo knows what shark did it. He goes out to get revenge against the shark that ate his bro. Yeah, that's about it. I remember seeing this, and I remember being really fucked up and not really paying attention to what was going on. I remember a couple of the shark scenes, but that's about it. So, of course, I had to revisit this thing and really fuck up my head watching this thing. So, yeah. If you're a shark movie completist, you may want to watch it. Other than that, it may be one of those things you really want to stay away from. I mean, there's a lot of nude chicks and, unfortunately, some nude bros, but that's beside the point there. Off on a different subject, unfortunately. Someone had asked me if I had ever protested when I was going to college or whatever. And this is due to what's going on right now. Well, to be honest with you, I did protest the Vietnam War when I was in high school for the simple reason that, A, I didn't want to go to Southeast Asia and get killed. I admit it. But in admitting that, I didn't do anything to avoid going to Southeast Asia and getting killed, because there was such a thing back then called the drift. And if you got called up by the drift because you had to register when you were of age, I think you had to be, 16 maybe? Whatever the fuck it was. I still got a draft card floating around here somewhere. But I was classified 1A, which meant that if I got called up, guess what? You're going. So, like I said in previous installments, that's what drove me to 42nd Street to begin with. But anyway, the whole point is we didn't have a choice. And basically, we were protesting because a lot of us didn't want to die. our fathers had fought in WW2 and, the whole deal, but that was a whole different ballgame. That was someone bent on world domination, not some little country in the middle of fucking nowhere that we probably should have never got involved in because, let's face it, have we won a war since WW2? Not really. So that brings me to what's going on today. And I don't like to take sides in this mess, but Hamas attacked Israel. That's what started this shit. I'm not condoning that psychopath Netanyahu's slaughter of the Palestinian people, but they opened the fucking dance. And if you people, Palestinians, didn't kick these fucking people out of power, maybe this wouldn't have happened. But it's a whole different ballgame. My issue with this whole protest on the campus thing is you have outside agitators, as you did when I was doing this shit. I only did it once now. And you have a bunch of basically rich, privileged kids taking this up as a cause. The people that are really there want to study, don't want to be bothered with this shit. But again, like I say, and I've talked to 3 other people about this, these are the children of privilege who have taken this as a cause. And it has nothing to fucking do with them. At all. And the thing that really tweaked me is when they yanked down the American flag and ran up the Palestinian flag. Had I have been there, I would have yanked that flag down and stuck it up whoever ran it up's ass. This is America. This isn't Palestine. Palestinians came over here because they didn't want to put up with the fucking bullshit that was going on over there. But that does not give them the right, or anybody else that comes over here, the right to take down the flag of this country and put up their own flag. That, my friends, is fucking bullshit. And that's what these protests are. Bullshit. This is, again, something we should have never got involved in, but, America sticks our nose in everything. We shouldn't have done it. But unfortunately, the damage is fucking done. So, this whole anti-Semitic wave that's fucking sweeping the country for a bunch of certain people, who's behind it? Nobody's doing anybody any favors by stirring up all this rhetoric that's going on here. And like I say, yeah, I protested for a whole different reason. I didn't want to go over to a jungle and die for something I had really have no knowledge of why it was going on. You people have a knowledge of what's going on, and it doesn't fucking concern you because you're not going to get drafted. You're not going to get conscripted into the American Army. You're not going to be sent anywhere to fucking fight. So do what you went to school for. Get an education. Stop this other bullshit. But like I say, this is rich money people, kids who basically don't want to work. And I know kids don't want to work because you can't find anybody around here, and I live in Ohio, that would mow your fucking lawn for $20 or $25, whatever. You got to get a landscaper. Because children today, for whatever reason, simply do not want to work. Maybe some do, but obviously the people that have the parents that have the fucking green, they don't want to work. So excuse the rant. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. And above all, stay safe and rise above this shit because we got a lot of shit coming down the pike and I just don't want to address it here. But I honestly dread November. So on that note, stay safe.